Yay, RAGBRAI's over. Is that what we should say? Yeah, yay, it's over, or yay, we survived it?
Yay, we survived it.
Yay,
Yeah.
we survived it.
It was a survival RAGBRAI.
Yes, it was. Anyway, we'll just kind of give you our thoughts about RAGBRAI and what we thought about it, what we liked, what we didn't like, what our daily routine was. We'll start off with that. Let's just start off with our daily routine. Early. Daily routine was we were awake at 4 o'clock every morning, not by choice, but we were just awake. Our air mattresses this year were not up to par. They worked great last year. This year they would hold air for about 4 hours and they would start going down, and then we have to wake up in the middle of the night and hand pump them back up. And so that's one reason why we got up so early every day.
Yeah, and just again to beat the heat, we knew it was going to be a hot week, looking at the temperatures and dew points ahead of time, but that was kind of one of our biggest fears, and it was grueling. So just getting up early to ride was a godsend on most of the days. But we were up early anyway, so
Yeah.
it was fine.
It's like I always said, I'm up to work by 4:30 every morning, so 3:30 I'm up, driving to work, and so it's no big deal for me. But it was so funny, like in the beginning of the week, all of our tent mates around us and everything, and asking us what time we're getting up. It's like, oh, we'll probably leave by 5:30, something like that. It takes about an hour to pack up, the bag, bathrooms, coffee. By the end of the week, everybody was leaving the same time we were. Everybody was trying to beat the heat. But anyway, we'd usually get up at 4 o'clock. We'd hit the kaibos before the line started forming, and they were already starting to form at about 4 o'clock. So we do get that done, and some days we get coffee, some days we didn't. They didn't start serving coffee till 4:30 at Pork Belly, but that's usually should be early enough.
It's always such a nice option though, but sometimes it's just too hot to even start
Yeah.
drinking coffee that early in the morning, or just wanted to get on the road. So
We'd always just get back to our tent, get dressed, pack up. Laura would be packing up the tent while I was out working on the bicycles, either lubing the chains or cleaning the chains or pumping up the tires, putting on the speedometers, getting the bikes ready to ride. And by the time I got the bikes ready to ride, she had things pretty much packed up in the tent. And we had the full service at Pork Belly, so all we had to do was get our bags packed and leave them. We didn't have to get them on a truck. I hear the truck thing was a complete disaster for most people, waiting in line to get rid of your bags, but I am so glad we didn't have to do that.
because we could leave whenever we wanted. We didn't have to worry about standing in line for an hour and a half, is what I heard on some families' posts.
Yeah.
So that was definitely worth the charter at Pork Belly. Definitely a A+ there.
Yep. So we're often going about anywhere between 5 to 5:30 every morning. Some mornings maybe a little bit earlier, but we would pound out the first 40 miles, in 3 hours, So we were well on our way by 9 o'clock. We were usually over halfway, so we were beating the heat.
And we wanted to see the sunrises too, and this year that they just weren't quite the same as last year's. I don't know why, if it was because we were going through bigger cities in the mornings, but it was just a little bit different this year for sunrises.
Yeah, that's one thing. I wasn't too fond of the bigger cities. I like the smaller cities. I mean, the big cities, you just kind of got lost in the cities, and it was hard to find the route leaving town sometimes. I mean, you were turning left, turning right, turning left, going up a hill, going downhill. Sometimes the roads were marked, sometimes they weren't that early in the morning. So it did get kind of confusing some mornings to get out of the cities. And then, like Lori said, we didn't get to see the sunrises some days because you were still in the cities or not far enough out. But overall, it was a good ride. The hills aren't the problem. The hills were fine. The mileage no problem. You know, the hills, we do that all the time. That wasn't the problem. It was the heat. I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, stop bitching about RAGBRAI. You know, it's like, well, it's okay to bitch about a few things. Mother Nature brought this week was rough. Headwinds every day. You know, heat in the 90s every day. Some close to over 100. And I'm sorry, it was hard. If somebody tells you it was easy, it was not easy. It was hard. I mean, we did last year, and last year was easy. Every day last year was easier
And fun.
and fun. And we even did the Century Ride last year. It was 105. That felt like the Ames Day, a 50-mile ride. You know, that was an easy day ride. This ride with the heat and the headwinds, it was grueling. It's like, what did we say?
The first day was grueling. The second, well, the first really long day was grueling, then brutal, and then survival. I mean, every day was just a matter of getting to the overnight town. It was really, really hard to enjoy the stops. Yeah, and we didn't get pie, we didn't get our beer on our stops because it was just too hot, and we were just worried about staying hydrated.
Yeah.
So our biggest concern was getting Gatorade, water, taking our Noom in our water bottles, and just staying hydrated and cool and survive.
Survive.
But we did.
But we had our one goal that we had at RAGBRAI this year was to ride every mile and never walk up any hills. Ride up every hill, ride every mile, and do as much as we possibly could. And we accomplished that.
Yeah, we pushed each other.
We
Yeah,
pushed
we did.
and we pushed. We may have been going slow up some of those hills, but my God, we made it.
Yeah. And I always thought, if I got off the bike and walk, I don't think I could get back on. I'm like, I think it's easier to stay on the bike than it was to get off and walk. So yeah, and then just knowing your gears and knowing how to gear up and down on those hills was just so helpful. So that's my biggest recommendation for those that want to do it again. And if it's a hilly, just get used to your bike, know your bike gears, and practice that, and making sure your bike is in good shape.
I agree with her, you know, 100%. Know your bike. You have to know your bike, and you have to know how to gear it. You can't flip gears from the top sprocket to the bottom sprocket when you're going up a hill. You will throw a chain, and another chain, and another chain, and you need all your gears. If you're having problems with your gears jumping or won't stick in a gear, stop at the first bike shop and stop and get it fixed. It is so worth it. We both had to stop and get our derailleur fixed again. For some reason, during our ride, our drive to Sioux City and everything, they always get screwed up on the first day. And we get them in, we get them readjusted, and we're good to go the rest of the week.
Yeah, and the good thing with the bike repair, they're always the first stop. They're always the first thing that you see when you go into a town, and they're in every town, and they're just right there, which is so handy and convenient. So you don't have to search where are they. It's always going to be the first setup that you see when you come into town, which is amazing and great. And they're fast and efficient, and they know their stuff.
And as far as towns, all the towns were really good.
They were great.
I mean,
yeah.
the towns, the people were so proud of their towns. You know, they would do anything. If you ask anybody for anything, you know, they would give it to you. I mean, the water, you know, the Gatorade. I mean, it was...
Yeah. Iowa hospitality was great, yeah.
The food was pretty good, although we didn't eat as much food this year. I mean, I couldn't eat. The only thing that tasted good for me was water, Gatorade, and Beekman's ice cream. I mean, that's all that was running through my veins, I think, was Beekman's ice cream.
That's what got us through every day. The minute we heard the engines pumping.
Chunk. Beekman's. Every time.
We got that energy to get there.
Here's our little take on it. You know, you get a medium Beekman's, I think it was like $8, or you get a large for 11. Well, we'd get a large every day and just get 2 spoons.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would melt so damn fast you wouldn't get through half of it. But towns were all great. We did have some good food. We had some brisket sandwiches and an Italian sandwich one day was really, jalapenos and banana peppers, red peppers, on some roast beef on a hoagie bun. That was really good. And we stopped for beer the first 3 days, but when the temperatures got so hot, we just kind of give up on the beer until we got to camp or got to one of the restaurants outside of our last town we'd stop in. But roads were okay. They weren't the greatest. We had some crappy roads once in a while. On this ride this year, it just seemed like there was a lot more traffic coming at us this year than there was in the past. We almost got hit by a truck one day. He was going down, took a wrong turn. He was going right down the right lane in the bike lane. Everybody was just scattering left and right, and everybody was screaming at the poor guy. But the cop came running over to grab it, stop him. Like, so I don't know if he hit anybody. I don't think he did. We were just all yelling, but I think that's probably about it as far as RAGBRAI in general. Next subject, bike talk. Well, we both ride the same type of bike. We both ride Specialized Sierras. There are 20 speeds. They're hybrids. We run 33 millimeter tires, and we do ride straight bars across the top. Every day I brought lint-free cloths so I could clean my chains, especially after the gravel day. The gravel day was where you got your bikes really dirty. But I would clean my chain and oil every day. I did take a tire pump, and I pumped up our tires every morning, 85 psi every morning. Do it, people. Oil your chains and pump up your tires every morning. They do lose pressure. But our bikes perform flawlessly. No, we never had no flat tires, really no crashes, no whammies. Our bikes were perfect. As far as the first day we got a derailleur adjusted, we never had any problems with our bikes. So thumbs up for our bikes. Okay, the charter we used Pork Belly again this year. We were one of the lucky few that got the full service, tent service. So if you're thinking about doing RAGBRAI next year and you're doing Pork Belly, get your computer on your lap, get ready for the ride announcement, and get ready for Pork Belly to go live. Because as soon as they announce the ride, you need to be on that computer getting signed up immediately. Oh my, some screaming in the background. Jeez. Anyway, we went through Pork Belly. We had a full service that included tent rental and bag haul to and from our tent. What's some of the things that you liked about Pork Belly?
Well, and like you said, just making sure you get signed on early if you want the full service. But not having to haul our bags, just having the bags packed and ready in your tent. You can leave at 3 a.m., 6 a.m., whenever you want. Not having to load it onto a truck. We had 2 bags each, and I think you have, what, a 50-pound limit each bag. Those are heavy bags. And have to haul those every morning and then haul them at night to set up your tent. Not this year anyway. I'm so glad that we did the full service.
Yeah, it was hard enough when we got to Pork Belly just to unload our bags. I mean, you were just heat exhaustion. And that brings us into my next topic about one of the things that I didn't like about Pork Belly. I swear to God, they put our tent in the middle of a field of no shade and direct sun when it's 98 degrees and you gotta try to get in your tent and put your mat in there and grab your shower. It was too much. I mean, so you'd bend down trying to get in your tent. I'd get lightheaded just from all the heat exhaustion.
It's so big. There's, over what, 450 tents that there's just nowhere to go for shade. I think we had shade at the 2 overnight towns. So that was the other thing. We just didn't have a lot of reprieve from our hot, long rides during the day. There was no reprieve at night at camp at Pork Belly.
We had one day in Storm Lake. We had some shade, and we were on the lake. It was a great spot. We're bragging, oh, we got the best spot in the whole thing, until 9 o'clock, and we noticed that we were right under a street lamp. So it was daylight in our tent all night long. And then one other night, what town was it? Was it
Des Moines.
Des Moines. For some reason, they had to have stadium lighting on till midnight in the campgrounds. So it was like sitting in the middle at a 50-yard line at a football game until midnight. Most people were trying to go to bed by 9 o'clock. That didn't appreciate that, you know, but
Showers were good, but the thing with the showers are awesome. They're hot, changing room, mirrors, sinks. The shower service is great. Although because Pork Valley is so large, we had to ride our bikes a couple times just to get to the shower because it could have been a half a mile to a mile away from our actual camp. So that was tough.
Yeah.
And even just to find the location of the showers. Again, Pork Valley's huge. Some of the options that you get are wonderful, but yet
it's too big.
they
right
don't put
now.
in small print that you might have to ride your bike or walk a mile to get to your shower.
Or like we got like three nights we get free food, and then you can purchase the other 3 nights for food. Well, it would take probably an hour to an hour and a half line just to get your food. It's like we just got tired of standing in line for food that was, I mean, it was okay, but
Well, there's nowhere else to
there's
go
no
most
place
of the
else to
time,
go.
so.
And sometimes they had like a Hy-Vee or somebody, like a food truck there, where the prices were just ridiculous for a sandwich of $14 and some potato salad for $6. I mean, I think we each got like a pork or beef sandwich one night, and we each got a potato salad and a water, and it was like $58. It's just like, okay. So we did choose to eat off on some restaurants 2 nights. We had ate at a Mexican restaurant. I think that was in Tampton, Toledo, which was really good. And then we ate at an Irish pub one night when we were, I don't remember where we were, maybe Coralville.
Yeah.
That was good because they were both kind of air conditioned. But
So all in all, you know, if you get in line, you know, we just decided that we just wait till the very end and got in line then, so that we didn't have to wait in line and stand in the sunshine to get meals. So it all worked out.
yeah, we did get our free. They do have free beer, lemonade, coffee. So that was nice. And one of the worst.
Entertainment.
Yeah, we had entertainment.
Every night too.
For two of the nights, the entertainment was really good. There was a young kid band from, I think they were from Omaha. They were really good.
They were fun to watch, yeah.
And vinyl something. They were really good too.
Same as last year.
Yep, same as last year. They were both really good. We enjoyed those. Those were our two favorites. Boy, you know, like everybody always says in RAGBRAI, go to the church dinners and, you know, find yourself a VFW well, we were so far away from everything. I mean, God, we were 3 miles in Sioux City. We were probably at least 3 or 4 miles away from everything in Storm Lake. I mean, the only place that we were actually close to anything was probably in maybe Tampton or Tenille or maybe Toledo, yeah. We were probably only a half a mile from the main stage, but every other town, you either had to take the shuttle, and then if you want to take the shuttle, sometimes you stood in line for 45 minutes to get on the shuttle. Sometimes they would show up, sometimes they wouldn't, or sometimes 4 shuttles would show up at one time. So there wouldn't be another shuttle for, 45 minutes. So we got tired of waiting in line. We never got into some of the towns that we hit every town last year. This town we only made to maybe 2 or 3 towns at the in town anyway to see the concerts. But overall, I think all the charters this year were pushed to their limits because of RAGBRAI 50. I think that there was way too many people. It wasn't the charter's fault. Everybody wanted to do it this year. That was just, and they all accommodated everybody as best as they could. In fact, one night at Pork Belly, the last night, Coralville, we all got the tornado sirens. So they moved us all into the Extreme Center.
As you saw in the video.
Yeah, we didn't get a video.
Yeah,
one day,
we talked about it.
and we talked. I didn't get to there because I left my GoPro in my tent. So we went to the Extreme Center and we ended up spending the night in there all night because we were just so tired. We just didn't want to leave. You know, the concrete floor. But it was nice that Pork Belly arranged something for us all to get inside, and we didn't have to pay either that night because of the conditions. So
Yeah,
that was
and
good.
it was right there. I mean, it was within easy walking distance, maybe 50 yards.
Yeah.
So that was really convenient. It was air conditioned. They opened up concession stands in there, so we had food and water in there. Entertainment was in there. So
I mean,
plus we had air conditioning.
yeah, I'd recommend Pork Belly. I mean, it's the VIP of RAGBRAI. I mean, if you want to take out all the hassles, but just expect, you know, things can go wrong, and it's not their fault. It's just a combination of circumstances or heat. You know, you can't predict heat. You know, you just dealt with it. But I would do Pork Belly again. They were good. And probably everybody's Brody. Brody's finally showing up. He's busy barking at everybody today.
Brody's enjoying the backyard again. Yeah. Yeah.
And final thoughts on RAGBRAI. We love meeting all the people. For all the people that came up to us and said that they watched some of our videos, and a lot of them was telling us that we were the reason why they did RAGBRAI. You don't realize how much that means to us. I mean, we're not doing the videos to make money, I mean, we're doing the videos to try to help other people, because this is how we decided to do RAGBRAI. We started watching YouTube videos. You know, we watched BB&B and Ryan Van Duzer, you know, all their videos, and it inspired us to do RAGBRAI. So if we can help out anybody, you know, I'm glad we could help out anybody to get them to do it, because it's like I said, anybody can do RAGBRAI. This was a very hard year. I totally get it. It was a very, very hard year. And we did do training. We probably had in 600 and some miles of training. We rode far every weekend. Every weekend, our weekend rides were, you've seen the videos, anywhere from 45 to 60 miles. We did a couple 85-mile rides. We did hills, you know, we tackled hills. We worked on our gearing, that we were comfortable, but anybody can do this. But it does take some work. I mean, you never know what Mother Nature's gonna throw at you. And coming from somebody who's run a ton of marathons and half marathons, this was tough. This week was tougher than running 2 back-to-back marathons. It was hard. It took every ounce of energy that we had to get through some of the days. The heat was just whew.
Day after day after day. It was the most grueling thing I've ever done. Yeah.
The ride,
back-to-back marathons.
it's the camping. It's the camping. Oh, I hate camping. It's sleeping in a tent when it's 90 degrees outside. The dew points are still in the 70s. And all you're doing is just laying in a pile of sweat. It's just awful. But would we do it again? Yeah, probably. Yeah, we like to suffer.
Well, and now it's been, what, 2 weeks since RAGBRAI?
Yeah.
And you kind of start forgetting about how grueling and tough and just surviving each day was. And now you always kind of just remember the good things and appreciate what you have now. Porcelain toilets and sinks and running water and air conditioning. And so it definitely was
Yeah.
worth it.
I don't think we can do anything any harder.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I'm serious about that. I don't think we could do anything harder if we chose to do anything harder Except for maybe Ride Switzerland that Dozier did with the mosquitoes.
And the rain. Yeah.
In the rain. We don't have to deal with any mosquitoes. We had no bug issues whatsoever. We had no mosquitoes. Our tent wasn't put on any ant hills. You know,
Our
that
tent was great. Our tent kept everything dry during the tornado warnings, and
we did get rained on one day on the bike, and every day was sun. You know, we didn't get rain.
So there were some really good things that happened too, as always.
Yeah, we had some very nice people, tent mates. You know, every day, it was fun coming back to camp, listening to everybody's stories. Everybody has a different story. Some people enjoyed a certain day. Some people didn't enjoy certain days. Some people sagged 2 or 3 days. Some people just said, you know, we're not sagging. That was us. We were not going to sag. Nope.
Yeah.
That we made that commitment before we started, and we were not going to sag, and we did it all.
Yeah, we never felt like we had to.
No.
Really. I mean, we knew it was going to be tough, but every day was just a challenge, and we got through it. We never felt like we weren't.
Okay, we're gonna finish this up after we've done 2 RAGBRAIs now, and we're still not sure what RAGBRAI is. Is RAGBRAI a bike event? Is it a state fair event? Is it survival camp? Is it adult day camp? Or adult summer camp? It's whatever you want to make it is. You know, RAGBRAI is your ride. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable and enjoy yourself. We sure did.
And again, a shout out to everybody that stopped by and greeted us and watched our videos. That just made our day, and we just love talking to all of you, and hope to see you on the route again sometime.
For 2023 RAGBRAI, we're signing out, and who knows what our next adventure will be, but I'm sure it'll be something fun, maybe not this grueling. We want to smile a little bit more next time.
Let's get back on the trails again.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you the next time.
Bye.